The Virgin Islands Association for the Promotion of Arts and Culture in the British Virgin Islands is hosting the first ever Dolores Christopher Festival of the Arts, which is going to be held this Saturday, November 2nd, 2019, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. With us today is the Honorable Minister of Education and Culture himself, the Honorable Dr. Natalia Wheatley. We're going to talk all things Festival of the Arts, the way forward for culture and the arts in the British Virgin Islands, but all these and more right after a word from our sponsors.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, welcome again to 284 Media.
Thank you, Ron. It's a pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure having you. The first ever Festival of the Arts, it is synonymous, and as the name said, it's honoring the former legislator, representative for the 5th District, the Honorable Dolores Christopher, who actually hailed from the East. She was representative of the 5th, but hailed from the East. When you think of Dolores Christopher and her contribution, you knew her personally. Tell me about what do you think she would be most proud of at this point?
Well, Ron, I'm so excited to be having this event in honor of Dolores Christopher, who was a real passionate fighter of the people. And I believe that she would be proud to see us continue that legacy of promoting Virgin Islands culture and the arts. Because when I say Honorable Dolores Christopher was a Virgin Islander to the bone,
yes,
to the bone, and she didn't compromise. She really believed in Virgin Islands culture, in promoting it, in recording it, in putting it on display. And that's really what we want to do on Saturday, in her honor.
Absolutely. When you think of culture as a Virgin Islander yourself, how would you describe or explain VI culture to the average person?
I'm glad you asked the question, Ron, because many persons just see culture as something that has happened in the past.
Right.
But culture is living and breathing. Culture is the way we walk. Culture is the way we talk, the way we eat, the way we sing, the way we dance, the way we do everything that we do as Virgin Islanders.
Okay.
And in the past, of course, we did it a particular way. And that's what we have a tendency
to hold on to.
To hold on to and to promote. It's important for us to know how we did it in the past, but it's also important to know how we're doing it right now and to be very intentional about making sure we hold on to the great elements of the past and we build on it for the future, because culture is always growing and it's never static.
Okay. What is the purpose of this event?
The purpose of this event is really to put our culture and the arts on display. We know that our tourists, that they would like to see more culture. It's not just about sun, sea, and sand anymore.
Correct.
The cruise executives, they're calling for more value added to our tourism product. And that includes local history, local culture, local art. And in terms of our residents, you know, our residents have been crying for more culture, more history. They feel as though it's slipping away. So this is an excellent opportunity for those persons, our cultural artisans, to get on center stage and be able to show both residents and visitors what Virgin Islands talent is all about.
Remarkable. Now, we're going to get into the actual event and the lineup and all that good stuff, but you led a delegation recently to Trinidad and Tobago at the annual Carifesta event. Tell me about your experience, Minister, and what you and your team were able to bring back to the country.
Carifesta is this awesome event that CARICOM puts on. It's the Carifesta is basically Caribbean Festival of the Arts. And you see persons from Trinidad, from Jamaica, from the Bahamas, from Antigua, and everybody is bringing their best. They're bringing their dancers, they're bringing their singers, their calypsonians, their storytellers, the persons who make clothing, who make crafts, and all of them are coming together for this basically like 10-day festival.
Wow.
Everybody has a night where they put on their basically a show for all the different participants. It happens every 2 years, and this year I was in Trinidad and Tobago, like you said, and in the next 2 years it's going to be in Antigua and Barbuda.
Okay.
I decided to take a delegation to Carafesta basically at the last minute. I attended a meeting, a CARICOM Ministers Meeting of Culture, CARICOM Ministers of Culture meeting, and that was held in Guyana. And the invitation was put out there, you know, who's coming to Carafesta? And I decided at that point, I'm going to see if I can find some money to be able to attend the event. Because we didn't have enough time for preparation, we wouldn't be able to participate in all the events, but I thought I wanted a young group of individuals who could basically witness what was taking place, be inspired by it, and come back to the BVI and basically revitalize culture and let culture have a real resurgence in the BVI.
Wonderful.
And so I was able to come up with about 18 other persons. We flew via Airlink straight to Trinidad and Tobago, persons who are poets, fashion designers, visual artists, persons who are singers, musicians, and we were able to put together a strong contingent to go to Trinidad and Tobago, and we participated in a few different events. Yeah. We participated in workshops. Kristen Fraser would do a trefoil. And actually, I went to Carafesta in 2008, and that was the same year that Kristen launched trefoil, and she was at the same Carafesta in 2008. So just to see her growth and development from 2008 to 2019, I know that we're going to see a lot of development from a lot of the other young persons who went on this trip.
No, that's interesting because that delegation, if I'm correct, also makes up members of the Virgin Islands Association for the Promotion of Arts and Culture, which is a team that you put together to kind of spearhead not only this event, but perhaps the way forward as it pertains to culture in the British Virgin Islands.
Absolutely, Ron. I'm glad you mentioned that. This group, following Carafesta, continued to meet upon our return to the BVI, and they didn't want it to end there. We want to prepare for Carafesta 2021, but we also want to make our presence felt here in the BVI as it pertains to the promotion of arts and culture. So, I shared with them this idea of the Festival of the Arts, and I should say, Ron, that this is the 25th year of Culture Week.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been celebrating Culture Week for 25 years, and we have to thank persons like Eileen Parsons.
Of course.
Who helped to establish, perhaps I think she might have been the minister at the time that established Culture Week. I'm going to get that information for sure, but I believe she must have been the minister
at the time,
starting Culture Week, and it's been a fantastic institution. Culture Week is coming up from November 10th to the 15th, somewhere around there. So we wanted to do an event leading up to the Culture Week, considering the fact that this is the 25th anniversary of Culture Week, leading up to Culture Week, basically bringing our culture into focus in a grand way. And this association is, I think, really the way forward in terms of government partnering with private individuals to be able to move the needle on culture. And just like you said, it's not going to be just this event. We would like to have events throughout the year. And I'm hopeful, Ron, that this can even be something that our cultural artisans can make money from throughout the year. That when cruise ships come, we've already have cruise executives tell us, we want you to put this on when we have ships in port. We want this to be an event that persons can just come up the road from the cruise pier and be able to experience almost like a cultural village. And they can experience Virgin Islands culture firsthand, a concentrated way, and that can give them a real impression of what the BVI is about.
Indeed. The theme for this event is the evolution of BVI culture. As a minister, what would you like to see, or where would you like to see us go within the next 4 years, perhaps, and beyond, of course, as it pertains to culture in the British Virgin Islands?
Well, you asked a very good question early on when you asked what is culture.
Yes.
And a lot of persons don't even really know what culture is. So when we talk about the evolution of BVI culture, it creates a debate in persons' minds. And we want persons to query, well, what is BVI culture to me? Was BVI culture in the past? What is BVI culture today? But one thing for sure we know is we want persons to be prideful in BVI culture. We want them to see them as a part of it. And this extends, and this is my view, this extends to persons who were not born in the BVI, persons who came from many different countries. We want them to embrace BVI culture. If this is where you reside, we want you to adapt BVI culture as, even if you're proud of the culture of where you originated from, almost like a dual culture, that you adapt BVI culture and that you promote it. And throughout my tenure as culture minister, I would hope to see us move forward in terms of a museum.
Okay.
I would like to see us properly establish a national museum where persons like Dolores Christopher might have a room to herself, and if you're involved in sports, we have a room for sports to let persons know what has happened in sports in the Virgin Islands. Music, all our artifacts from the past. I think if we build an edifice for culture that reflects how we feel about culture, which meaning we have the right investment in it, and it's a grand structure, something that's inviting, something that tourists would like to visit and residents would like to visit, something that's modern, that includes a lot of technology, videos being played, documentaries, etc. That would be a good institution for the promotion of our culture and for the preservation of our culture and our history.
Well, I'd like to give you a brief idea as you speak about that edifice. Every year we have the Miss British Virgin Islands pageant, and we see some very beautiful costumes during the question and answer and culture segment. Perhaps if we could make it, and they're absolutely beautiful, many of them, perhaps if we could include that in some way and put them on showcase.
That's an excellent idea, Ron. And in fact, I'll have to tell you, we are thinking alike, because for the Festival of the Arts, we actually want to do a parade of young persons in these cultural costumes, because we have these pageants every year, and most times the costumes just
thrown away, or
just thrown away or put into storage, and then you never see them again. But these are some of the most beautiful costumes that you'll ever see. Persons invest a lot of money in them, and when you look at them, it's truly amazing. We want to have a parade of these costumes, and like you said, perhaps we can persuade the young ladies to be able to put them on display in a museum. Costumes. And along with costumes for Makajumbis and other persons who are masquerading as a part of the festival. In fact, when it comes to the festival, I would like to see, festival time, we have much more visual markers of festival, like if you go to the cruise pier and stuff, dress up the place like festival, create a little billboard where you stick your head through in a little hole and you can take a picture in your masquerading outfit. So I would like for us to exhort ourselves a lot more as it pertains to culture, to be very intentional about letting persons know that we have a culture here, we're celebrating the culture, and we're proud of the culture. I think we've made great strides over the years. Culture ministers in the past have done a great job of moving the needle. So I would like to do my part. I would like to see if we can create more murals, put them on display, have more festivals like the one that I'm proposing here, have them throughout the year, have more persons walking with young persons, because we have lots of great dance companies here. Make sure we can partner with the dance companies and make sure that we always include a cultural component in the dancing. And I have to give credit to persons like Heather Butcher.
Of course.
Who have been working with a lot of young persons with the heritage dancers.
Made significant contributions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And some of the persons who do festival troops, they do a good job. But I want them to look beyond festival. Just look beyond performing at the parade. And let's see if we can do this thing year-round, because really, just like I said, there's a hunger for it. Certainly the tourists want it, and I know the residents will be able to enjoy it at different times of the year besides Emancipation Festival.
Indeed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, again, as we said, this weekend, Saturday, November 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., the Virgin Islands Association for the Promotion of Arts and Culture will be hosting the first ever Dolores Christopher Festival of the Arts. Minister, there is a long lineup of amazing, games for the children, storytelling, fungi bands, heritage dancers, the Plat Pool. There's going to be some skits, official openings, and messages in honor of the honorees. We have pretty much all the dance schools participating, a parade with cultural costumes, a pan-off, which is really exciting.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to enjoy that one the most. Cultural interpretation through fashion. You're going to have an open mic, and of course, fungi and jazz in the park, sip and paint. But what's interesting about the sip and paint that I understand, we're not going to be sipping Merlot. It's actually going to be Virgin Islands wine and rum and spirits.
I hope guava berry.
Of course, we have to have that in there.
I go down my Melamos and I get my little bit of guava
That's
berry.
imperative.
And then you enjoy yourself much more.
Of course, absolutely. So as we prepare for this wonderful event, which is going to have displays and more, pea soup competition, fungi and fish, what would you like the general public to know and give them a last encouraging word as we approach this magnificent event?
Well, Ron, I really want persons to come out and celebrate history, celebrate our culture, celebrate the arts. Like I said to you, this is 25th year of Culture Week. We want to announce to the world that we're proud of our Virgin Islands culture, and even persons who may not necessarily see themselves as part of Virgin Islands culture, come and get involved, come and immerse yourself in it, learn about it, and participate in it. We have a rich culture. We have a rich talent of young persons when it comes to the arts, dance, poetry, just about every aspect of the arts that you can think of is going to be on display. And this is an opportunity for cultural artisans to really let persons know the type of talent that we have. We know we have the Reuben Vantage Pools of the world, we know we have the Jenny Wheatleys of the world, the Elmer Stouts of the world, and they will be given their praise and their just due. But we want other persons to be inspired to continue the tradition, to take the baton forward as it pertains to our culture and the arts in particular.
Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to understand that this is a free event. There's no cost to enter. You can come at any time during the day, or you could spend the entire day there. But come out and support, as the Honorable Minister said, Virgin Islands history and heritage and culture, past, present, and the way forward. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Brother Ron.
You're most
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbdi.com. Advertising with us works.